spectacular, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very cool. Awesome.
Hello, this is BJ from Hearns Hobbies, and welcome. I have Andy Cooke here.
Hello, hello.
Hello, welcome in again.
Thank you.
We're going to be working on a special project. So we're going to be painting, but we're going to be talking about your latest project, which is a replica of the 1989 associated Stealth RC10.
Yes.
Yes, is that correct?
Yes.
All right.
As far as I know, that's correct.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So, let's see. We'll try to get a picture to be overlaid on the video, but this is basically what it's going to look like. So this is a very special car. So this is a World Championship winning car that was run in Australia.
Yes, correct.
Yep.
So yeah, Masami's winning RC10
Yep.
Stealth, and yeah, basically creating the replica of it,
Yep.
including the body shell.
All right, so we've got the body shell here, which Andy has picked up from, what was it, Penguin?
That's a Penguin, yes, the Protect 2.
Okay, so that's a replica body for this RC10. So the team associated RC10 had a particular shape at the time, and obviously you can't get original bodies anymore.
No.
No.
Well, not for...
Except for replicas.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And this is really available, yeah?
Yeah.
Easy to get?
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, Penguin online. So
Yep.
lots of cool bodies there, including this one, which is pretty much a spot-on replica, from what I can tell, of the original.
Right. Okay.
That's pretty cool. Yep.
Yep.
And then the wings as well are basically replicas of Yokomo, the 870
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yokomo wing.
Yep.
So cut down a bit, but yeah, so we're going to use them as well.
Okay. Cool. Because at the time, I mean, Masami was a Yokomo driver, but
Yes.
also an associated driver.
Yep.
So they sort of shared bits, and they come up with this funky design car.
Yeah, they had a number of bits on it. Was actually sort of small Yokomo parts, some of the
Yep.
wing mounts and the wheels and the wheel
Yep.
hubs. So yeah.
Okay, so the stickers there, the original one would have been airbrushed, but you've been able to find these stickers, and these are from another sort of
Yep, they're
famous replica
from
company.
MCI.
Yep.
MCI Racing, yeah.
Yep.
Which, as we know, do lots and lots of different sticker sheets.
Yep.
And yes, so that's from them. So we've used that for this one to save a bit of time and effort.
Oh, for sure.
For
It's going to
this,
make it a lot easier.
Of course.
Okay, so we're going to be painting these up, and we're going to be doing it the same green paint
Yeah.
scheme as the Masami version.
Which is a very unique green colour.
It is.
Yeah.
So we're going to be playing around. We've got quite a few greens here. We're going to mix it up and try and get it close. So let's see. First thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the black shadow line around the edges, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a fine airbrush here. Okay, so this is a 0.2. The great thing about this particular one is it's got a lot of extra control. So it's got a finer nozzle, and we've also got the micro control valve there as well.
Micro control.
Yeah. So I was trying to work out how to best describe or show how this works.
Yep.
So I've got the compressor set at 15 psi, which is pretty reasonable.
Is that
So
low or just
yeah,
standard?
sort of standard to low, because normally we'll do say 20, anywhere between 20 and 10 psi. So it's 15,
Yep.
but this will allow us to adjust it as well. Okay,
It's like a secondary sort of valve or
yeah,
restrictor.
so it's a lot finer than the one that's on the compressor at the moment, and it allows you to adjust it as you go.
So
Okay.
it could go like 14.7 psi.
Yeah,
as
yeah,
designed.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
or as I've discovered,
whatever.
the check I'm doing is I'm going to blow it in my mouth. So you hear that sound? So that's 15 psi. And if I screw this in, and that's screwed back up. Okay, so as you screw it in,
Funky.
it
You could do
reduces
special
it.
effects for the movies.
I could, but I'm not. So this is going to be really handy here, because we don't want a really strong blowing force, because otherwise it's going to put a lot of overspray across everywhere else.
Yeah, we only
Yeah.
want a fine fuzzy line, and these stickers,
Yeah.
they're not perfectly accurate to the original, but they're very
Yeah.
close, but they have got a black line around
Yes.
them. So we
Yeah.
sort of want to just add to the black line
Yes.
a bit of like
Yeah.
shadow
That's
fuzziness.
it.
Yeah.
Yep. And I guess it doesn't really matter so much with a darker colour like a green, but if you're spraying like a white, a lot of overspray, you'll pick it up on all the corners, because it's spraying on the inside.
Yeah.
It'll just collect in the corners. Alright, so let's get started. Now what we're going to do is to do black. So I've got my little spray bottle here.
Yep.
Now what I like to do is, the black I've already decanted, so we actually got the black from a can. Okay, so this is the can here, the polycarb. So since we're going to airbrush
Good
it,
old
this is the
crusty
easiest way.
PS5 cans.
Yeah, that's right. So all I did was I sprayed this into this container, and we'll let it sit for a little bit just so it degasses.
Yep.
Okay, because all the propellant is still in it. And that's ready to go.
What happens if you don't let it degas? Does it?
Well, it'll
bubbles
bubble.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. And you'll see bubbles start coming up in the cup.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
which isn't good because
It'll,
it just means
splatter out of the nozzle, maybe.
yeah, because you'll get propellant and then paint, propellant and then paint. Yeah. Okay, so looking at it at the moment, I think it's not a bad consistency. So we'll just use it straight, and I will test it on something first.
Yep.
Let's
have
crack
some
this
test
open.
samples.
Oh, test samples,
prepared
yes.
earlier.
Okay, let me keep this computer on so I've got a reference. Okay, so I'm just going to pour this in here. Normally I would use my pouring trick with
Oh, with a brush.
a brush. Yeah, so you know that one? No, but I'm all good because it's actually
I've
got
been
an-
watching the live shows. So I learned it from there.
This has got a good lip, so that's
Yep.
all good. Alright, so we're going to leave it
They
there.
have a good lip.
Yep. I don't know. Brett likes to put his cap on, but I don't know. I
He's
just
got
leave them
those
off.
funky, like old school, vintage driver caps that he normally wears.
So yeah, so he likes that. Alright, so we've got a bit of...
Play with that one? Or
Either way.
flat?
Oh, let's try a bit of this.
Yep. It's got
Yeah,
some
so
nice,
let's see.
nice curves as well.
Oh,
which is
okay.
Similar to the
Yep. Alright, so
Body.
let's see what this looks like coming out. It's actually starting to web.
web.
It's probably a bit thick.
Mr. Worldwide. Bit of thinning.
Oh, screw that down too much. Now, rather than mix there, let's try spraying on here. Yeah, it looks a bit thick, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm going to pour this back into here.
Yep. We'll do it thinner.
Yep, and we'll mix a bit of thinner in here.
Do we have enough?
Only 400 mils, so
Yeah.
got to be careful we don't
Yep. That's filling.
use all of it. It's not for drinking too. Alright, so... Oh, sorry, well, we can get other stuff for that. Alright, so I'm just
That's
using
later.
some lacquer thinner here. Okay, because these polycarbonate paints are lacquer based. So I'm just going to do my pouring trick. Now I do a lot of this by feel.
Been looking forward to the pouring trick.
Have you?
All day.
Alright, so we'll just get around this. That's still pretty thick. Alright, I'll add some more. Oh, that was a bit much, wasn't it?
That's right. We'll go a bit more black.
Actually, this isn't liking it.
Ooh, it's gone all. It's like
It's separated.
old milk.
That's not much good, is it? I went too far. Alright, so I've gotten some regular sort of modelling lacquer. So this is in Mr. Colour. This is GX number 2, which is Wano Black. So let's try mixing this up.
Wano black.
Wano!
Mr. Wano.
You would have been to Wano in Tokyo. Wano Zoo?
Ooh, maybe.
Maybe?
There's lots of people around. Maybe that was Shizuoka Square.
Oh, really? Shizuoka Square. It's been a while since we've been back.
Shizuoka something. Big
Yes.
intersection.
Oh,
Where all the
Shibuya.
people- Is that Shibuya?
Shibuya
Ooh.
crossing.
Oh, Shizuoka.
Yes.
That's down south, isn't it?
Yes, that's where Tamiya lives.
Tamiya. That's where we're at the Tamiya factory.
That's right. Right, let's see if I can clean off all this stuff. If not, it's probably a bit gunky, eh? Alright, let's use another brush.
Thank you.
Another brush. Okay, so let's get some of this. Actually, I should really measure this. So I've got,
We've got a measuring cup.
because with the flex, we don't want to put too much in there, otherwise it just stays tacky. But it doesn't matter a lot. So I've got some pipettes here. These really fine pipettes.
Some what?
Pipettes.
Pipettes.
Pipettes. Now this might take a while because to fill one of these, it's 1 mil.
Wow.
So that's 1 mil up to there.
I would have thought it'd be more. Nah, that's more than 1 mil. I reckon it's about 9.7 mil.
You reckon?
Yeah.
This is meant to be 1 mil.
Wow. Or 10
Now,
mil.
now it's black and I can't see how much is in there.
It's hollow on the inside. Empty on the
So
inside.
that's meant to be 1 mil, is it? Jeez. Alright.
Interesting.
I don't know, there's going to be a bit of guessing involved here. Alright, so that's 2.
Makes good noises.
Does it? Do you like that?
Yeah.
3.
Almost as good as the mouth method of pressurizing.
Oh. 4. I'll go 5, eh? 5's going to be easy to work out, I think.
You lost count?
No, not yet. I'm right, I think.
Cool.
Right,
5 mil?
5. Alright, so that's 5 mil in there. Alright. So 5 mil.
Perfect.
Now I'm gonna test your mathematics because mine isn't good when it gets
I did
late.
maths at school.
Okay. So the flex stuff. What is the flex stuff?
Flex.
The flex is
Ooh,
suggesting 10%.
10%?
Yep, but 10% is a
of
bit too
one?
much.
No.
So we're going 5%. So 5% of 5 mil.
Of 5 mil is 0.25.
0.25?
That's not right.
I don't know. What's that?
20% would be 1. Yeah, 0.25.
0.25.
0.25. I'm going with that.
I've got 0.25, so that's here.
One
Because
line.
that's 0.5,
Yep.
and that'll be 0.25. Yeah? So we're going to put this much flex into there.
It's very scientific.
Is it?
I like it.
Now, I don't know whether or not I should thin it first and then put the flex in, which will reduce its percentage.
So what does the flex do? Makes it stick to the
It makes it dry rubbery.
flex. Ooh.
Yeah.
So, as in flexible.
Flexible. I reckon we'll just put in the flex now. We'll thin both.
So that's
It
the
wouldn't make much
only
difference.
that's the only
There's a
difference
flex.
between normal paint and
And
polycarbonate
polycarbonate.
style paint
Yes,
is it
yes.
has that sort of
That's
agent
right.
in it.
So it's got this flex, which is a plasticizer.
Mm.
So there you go. So we're using the SMS stuff, which is very easily available. Alright, so I've got air bubbles and stuff in there now. I'll squeeze it out a bit. Where are we? Oh, I'll probably push that too much.
0.25.
Alright, so that's 0.5 now.
0.5.
Squeeze a bit.
Bubble.
Air bubble.
Squeeze
Go
a bit
away,
more.
air bubble.
How do you get rid of air bubbles?
I don't know. Because this stuff is pretty thick.
I reckon that looks good.
You reckon
Yeah,
that's about right?
compensate for the air bubble
Oh, okay.
volume.
Yes. Alright, I trust you.
Yeah.
Alright, and then we're just going to squeeze that into here. That's
Wasn't
all in.
much.
It's not much. You don't want too much. Yeah. Otherwise
Yeah.
it stays all funky.
That's
Alright.
too rubbery.
Yeah. So, and you put too much in it, it'll remain sticky. And we don't want that. Okay, let's give this a bit of a swizzle.
Mm.
Now what I'll probably want to do is somehow clean out that polycarbonate paint which I left in here.
Yeah.
Now what I'll do is, oh here we go.
How do you clean it out nicely? Do you tip a bit of the thinner in, or?
Yeah, I will, but I like to try and get rid of most of it because it's just going to clog it up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Wipe it out
so
first.
so I'll wipe out as much as I can first. It's not going to be pretty, but clean it up.
We're all about pretty.
You are? No, not at all.
Can you tell? Maybe pretty body shells.
Hey,
Yeah, pretty body shells.
pretty body shorts.
Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, we've got it. So it's pretty thick, yeah, so it's got the webbing going on.
Brett can clean this bench tomorrow, right?
Of course. Spread it in there. Oh,
Too long.
there's spider webs everywhere, isn't it? Okay, so that's most of it out. I can see the needle now. Alright, so let's do some more of this. Not as much as we can. So with the car, we might as well have a closer look at the car while I'm doing this.
Excellent idea.
Yeah,
How
so
about I grab the car?
you've been working on that for a little while.
Yes. Where's the car? Oh, that's right.
Behind you.
I put it somewhere nice and convenient to grab.
Yes.
Yep.
Alright.
Here is a car. Yes, so we've started this project probably around, when was it? February, earlier this year?
Yep.
Yeah. So mainly, Aaron and myself thought we would try and create a replica of this car because, as far as we know, it hasn't been done before. And I thought that'd be a bit of fun. Create a couple of cars for ourselves, like one each.
Yep, sure.
Yeah. So so that was the genesis of the project initially, and obviously with all of the 3D printing I've been doing in recent years, that was the method or the mechanism of achieving it, along with all of the carbon and fiberglass cutting from our good friend Mr. Berserk.
Yes.
Paul Sims.
Yes.
So yeah, that combination looked like it was a viable thing to try and create this replica.
So the original car was very, very different from a off-the-shelf RC10, right?
Yes, it was. I don't know, probably 80% customized and hand built for that World Championships.
Yes, and it was never released as an off-the-shelf car.
No, I think they built 7, I believe.
Right.
Of the original ones for their team drivers. Obviously, like Masami, Jay Halsey, and those guys, and I think Craig Drescher and some of the other guys there that got to run them.
Yep.
And then afterwards, definitely never sold as is. But I believe a lot of the designs and learnings from it went into the next series of RC10s after that.
So was that the Stealth RC10 that came after it?
Yeah, because they called it the stealth car at the Worlds, I believe, because Yokomo and Associated didn't allow anybody to take photos of it at the time.
Right.
So it was kind of dubbed the stealth car.
Right.
And if the story is correct, then that's what they went with the actual name when they released the actual stealth car as a production kit.
Yep.
So they used that name because it was pretty cool. I was mainly around the gearbox, I think, at the time.
So it was a 3-gear reduction system.
Yep. So they had the original 6 gear from the previous, the original RC10.
Yep.
So yeah, like the 2 banks of 3, and differential operation was actually up in the spur gear where the slipper is these days.
So it was a bunch of balls.
So the actual ball diff was up there, and then it drove each side of the 2 banks of gears, and there was like a sensor plate in the gearbox.
Yep.
Down to the output shafts at the bottom. So yeah, and then after that they came up with the Stealth 3 gear box,
right?
Where the actual diff was in the bottom as we know them today.
Yep.
So I think a lot of the design and characteristics and geometries of this were probably carried forward to a lot of the more modern cars over the years.
Yep.
That we saw in all of the Associateds and Locies that followed.
Yep. So that rear bulkhead as well, that I guess you call it a bulkhead, is it? Where the camber links are attached?
Yes.
So was that different as well, or was that carried over?
It was actually the same. I think that was the standard part. It's going to be difficult to show. So the rear bulkhead was standard, but they did cut it down quite substantially.
Oh, I see. Right.
Yep. And didn't use the wing mounts. All the wing mounts were off the rear tower, so they were like Yokomo parts.
Yep.
The gearbox casing was all like handmade out of nylon originally, and the gears inside I think were all sort of custom made for that event. So there's actually a different ratio, I believe. It was like a 2-to-1 ratio, I think.
Really?
In that prototype one, which they never released.
Right.
It was always I'm going to get this wrong. Was it
2.3 or something?
2.16 or 2.3 or whatever the ratio is of the actual Stealth.
Okay, so I'm playing around with this mix now, and this is looking much better than it was before.
Whoa, nice. No chunky bits.
No chunky bits.
Smooth.
Okay, so I think we're going to be good with that. Let's just try it here.
That goes on the play card.
I think this looks okay. What do you think of that?
Your expert's asking me.
Oh.
I think
it's much smoother than the original.
And it's not webbing? Not spider webbing?
No spiders.
I don't think?
No.
Yeah, because a lot of the lines will need to be pretty sort of thin, I guess.
Yeah. So it is sort of semi-transparent. Okay, so we can build up on that.
Because you do a number of layers rather than one big one across.
But you can see, with the white table here, I mean, if you're happy with that, I mean, it's not too bad.
Nice. In my expert opinion, I'd say that's
not bad?
Awesome.
Okay, so we'll do a couple of passes. It gives us more control as well.
Yep. Yeah, because if there's bits in the sort of wrong areas, it doesn't really matter too much.
Yep.
Adds the overall effect.
That's it. Alright, so what am I going to do here? Alright, let's load it up and we'll start moving on to the body, I reckon.
Exciting.
So let's load this up here. snap this closed so I don't accidentally tip it. Alright, so let's open up my little file again so we've got a reference.
Yeah, so for a lot of this whole project, the chassis as well as the body today, I've been using the document which has a range of pictures off the Team Associated website.
Yep, so that's the one we're looking at now.
And yeah, so this is the one. So they took some whole bunch of photos after the event.
Yep.
And have published that on their site, which is really cool because they're very good, clear photos with lots of detail, which helped. Well, it basically gave me the full reference to try and recreate all the parts in the CAD software.
Yep. Now I'm just adjusting the microcontrol valve now, just to give it a little bit more control. Yeah, that's good. Right, let's just clear it out. I think that's right. Okay, let's start. Let's put this right there. Don't need the thinner here anymore. And close that up. Yep. Give it that. Thank you. Got a little cleaning thing over here. Let's move these pipettes. That's sort of in the way.
That's my favourite word for today.
Is it? We'll spin this around.
Pipette.
Keep it sort of clean. Alright.
Nice.
Alright, I like that.
Do we need to clean the body or?
Oh yeah, cleaning, yes. So how about...
I didn't clean it, sorry.
No, that's right. So, let's put this away. So if I get you to use some of this...
Quick wipe? Yep.
Yeah. So I've got some of this non-linty tissue. Yeah, one should be enough.
Cool.
And then just put a little bit of thinner on it. Doesn't need to be a lot. Yeah, that one will be fine.
Use the
or
110 size, the 400 size?
It doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter.
It's only a small tissue, so I'll use 110.
That's it.
Yeah.
So you don't need a lot. Just a little splash will be fine.
Just like dab it on?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's just going to remove any oils.
Cool.
Yep. So just give that a good wipeage on the inside.
Yep.
Yep. Then after you do that, I'll get you the little wings as well.
Little wings.
Yeah. This will just make sure that the paint sort of sticks.
Yep. So I had my greasy fingers all over it.
Yep. Don't have to be super detailed with it. So as long as the bulk of it sticks, you should be fine.
Yep.
And also because there's tape there, the thinner can sort of pick up the tape as well on the edges.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
To make sure it's all stuck down.
Yep.
Yep, that's
Yep.
good.
But either way, if we do get a little bit of spray underneath, we'll clean that off with some thinners.
Yep.
Okay, so still a little bit wet looking at the reflection, so we'll wait until it sort of gasses off a bit. So it's a nice dry surface, and then we'll start painting. Now we can sort of speed that along. I do have my hair dryer.
Top Gun.
You don't want to use this for your hair.
Oh.
I mean, I don't have much left, but if I use this much, it'll be all burnt off. So we can accelerate it like this. I've got it on a pretty low sort of temperature setting. It's still going to be hotter than a hairdryer, but this will just help us get everything.
Is it quite good to have the material warm, just in general, for spray painting, or it doesn't matter?
Yeah, because what it means is it'll bond to the surface better. Yeah, as it's curing.
So if I'm out in my backyard spraying from the can in like 4-degree evening.
Yeah, we've done that
It's
before.
probably not a good idea.
No.
Cool.
Oh, what are we doing? I'm pushing the wrong buttons here.
Wrong buttons. Oh, locked out. Locked out.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll do the roof section first, I think.
To the RC10 logo.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get it over here.
Yep.
I always use a bit of scrap here, so just to clear off the nozzle. You can see that, whereas if the nozzle's loaded up, if I just press air, yeah, it'll splatter like that. Okay, so you make sure you clear. Oh,
is that splatter?
that's a big splatter. So that's what.
Do you need this?
No, that's what.
It's alright. They edit that out afterwards, right?
Oh yeah. So that's what Brett tries to avoid. So let's do this.
That's right. Puts the cap on.
So the cap's going on.
Brett sounds like a smart bloke.
Oh, sometimes. Alright, so the cap's going on.
No, it's not. Half one.
Oh, I've got drippage.
Oh, drippage. Drippage everywhere.
It's not going well, is it?
Well, you missed the table and got that on the paper, so that wasn't too bad.
Lucky you didn't go inside the body.
Yeah. We've got enough in it to clean it.
Oh yeah, got plenty. So that'll just we'll let that sit there. All right, so I'm just making sure this is working the way I want it. Okay, I think that's good. All right, and I'm pretty confident now. Nothing's going to drip out, is it?
There's nothing left in there now.
All right, let's start on the rippage. Okay.
Rippage. Here we go. This is
Let's
it.
just make sure we've got good grip.
Yep. It's actually hard to hold.
It is, isn't it?
Mm.
Okay, so. Just doing the circular bit there.
Okay. Work your way in.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got a little bit going on there.
How's that looking outside?
Okay. Probably want a little bit more.
A little bit more? Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's quite a bit more on the reference.
Yeah, it is quite dark, the overall Masami car. All the highlights. Yeah.
A bit more there.
Nice.
Yep. So we still want to see a bit of green, right?
Yeah, a little sort of patch of green in the middle of that one.
Yep.
And then just
So
a bit dark around the edges, but leave the middle open.
Yep.
Yep.
Alright, so let's get more there.
Nice.
Okay, so we've got the circle all done. Okay, so let's move on to the edges here. So this is just going to be a really slow process. Now with the car, what attracted you so much to this particular car? Because there's been quite a few sort of prototype cars around.
Yeah. So it's, well, I always used to race RC10s myself.
Right.
So my first, well not first, but first racing car was an RC10 after the good old Frog and Hunter.
Yep.
So
you had a Hunter, did you?
Yeah, good old Marui Hunter.
Yeah.
Yep. Lou Solar brought out his old Hunter the other day.
Oh,
to
did
have
he?
a look at, which was very nostalgic. So that was pretty cool. Hadn't seen one since 30 odd years ago. Back
Yeah.
when was that? That would have been about 87, 88.
Did the Hunter have the counter? What was it? Counter. What am I talking about? The
Cantilever.
shocks. Cantilever shocks.
Yeah, it was a single mono shock at the back.
Oh yeah.
With kind of a rocker cantilever.
Yep.
Kind of like rocker mechanisms.
Yep.
Which was interesting. I don't think it really worked that well, but
Oh, they look cool back
it
then,
looks
didn't they?
cool. Yeah, and Lou's one he'd done some seriously funky modifications to it,
Right.
which is probably one of the
Oh,
best
what do you mean?
Hunters in existence.
What's he done to it?
Or like a better shock and different different geometries for the rocker arms.
Yep.
It was pretty interesting. So yeah,
Right.
probably the best handling Hunter in the world. So I had that. Then so my mum got me the good old gold pan RC10 as my first first racing car.
Oh, what a classic.
Yeah, so it's always had a soft spot, obviously, for the RC10s, and pretty much all of the off-road racing I ever did was with the RC10,
Yep.
right through to the would be about the mid-90s. So yeah, it's always like associated. Of course, Masami's obviously the legend in our hobbies. So
Yes.
so there's that aspect to it, and of course the Worlds. So the 1989 Worlds in St Ives,
Yes.
I think it was.
In
Yeah,
New South Wales.
New South Wales was in Australia, in New South Wales.
Yep.
So so we've obviously got the Australian connection there as well.
Yep. What do you think about that black there?
Oh, where am I looking? Yes, I should look at the actual thing. Oh, nice.
Is that right?
Yep, that's beautiful. Anyway, yeah, we've got the green will encroach in.
Yep.
Yep, and then it kind of blends a bit with the black of the
Yes.
sticker.
Yep. Okay. Good stuff. All right,
Yep.
let's work on
Nice.
the windows now, yeah? Okay, so on
Yep.
the windows, let me change my...
Yeah, so we've got the outline around sort of all of the windows, plus the pillar sections are pretty much solid black.
Yep, okay. So let's do this. All right, so let me...
Nice
zoom in a
three-quarter
bit
view.
there.
Yep. And
Okay.
we've got the window mesh. In this case, I've done the shortcut with a sticker
Yep.
as well. So that was one of the options. Actually, on the MCI website, if you've seen or not, you could buy obviously their pre-designed sticker sheets. They also have a sticker sheet builder where you can sort of basically
make your own?
create custom sheets from scratch. Yeah, and there's a whole range of all the different components and logos from all the different companies that you can select from.
Right.
And so I actually use that for part of this body. So not these stickers; these are the standard Masami car sheet. But all of the other more obscure ones, I basically created my own custom sticker sheet, which contains all the extra parts that we needed.
Right.
So yeah,
Well, there must be a lot of
including
people
the window mesh.
doing these styles of bodies then. Everyone's interested in Masami body, I guess. So
Yeah, there's been so many over the years. The 1991 Masami car has been very popular, and I believe there's the Nix 91, who did a conversion kit similar to what we're doing here.
Oh, okay.
But for the 91 car, so that's been very popular. And Michael Vollmer as well does various sort of custom, was it neo vintage style conversion kits.
I've seen him do a lot of Kyosho stuff recently.
Yeah, he's got the Kyosho and also into on-road as well.
Yeah.
I think there's a 12 scale, like his own take on old cars.
Yeah.
So he basically takes a vintage car the way it was,
Yeah.
and then he sort of puts his own design thinking into an alternate version that never existed, but sort of could have in an alternate universe. So yeah, that's his style, which is pretty cool.
And Michael Vollmer was a designer, wasn't he? And was he
Yes.
world champion as well?
Ooh,
Was he world champion in South Africa?
Have to ask him. Not sure.
I've got a feeling that
He's definitely designer for
that.
Serpent, I believe.
Right.
Is that Serpent? Is that correct? So
Yeah, it could have been Serpent and
everyone
also
can correct me if I'm wrong,
Durango,
but
was it, in the day?
ooh, like the associated connection.
Yeah. I don't know, that
Good
sort of
question.
comes to mind.
Good question. We need somebody to inform us.
Yes.
Yeah. Or we'll ask Michael himself later
Yes.
on and
Yeah.
get him to tell us.
Well, he helped you find some materials, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He was nice enough to answer my questions and chatted a bit. And because we're after the fiberglass. As you can see, the front tower here is not the right associated colour. It's very fluorescent colour.
Yes.
The rear,
yellow, isn't it?
the rear tower here is an original, so that's the colour we wanted. And I was struggling to find a nice supply that was an ongoing supply of the right colour and type of fiberglass. And he put me onto the type that he uses for his kits, which is almost an exact match for the associated, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, good on him.
Yeah. So we got some of that out of Germany.
Yep.
And Berserk has cut up the towers for us already. So the first couple of prototypes he's already done
Okay, cool.
out of that material. And
Yep.
they look brilliant. So, I'll show you a couple.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm continuing doing the window surrounds. So I've done the front windscreen. Just going to move on to the sides now. Just checking the reference material as well.
Yeah, so these are the. Can you see this?
Oh, wow. Yep.
Yeah, so they're the towers. So the rear tower is basically an exact copy of the original.
Yep.
But it's just got some countersunking for the mounting to make it match Masami's.
Yep.
And then the front tower, which is, there we go, so reflection. That's completely custom designed, of course, along with all the other parts. And then so that's the 2.5mm. Was it FR4? I think it is, or whatever the code is for that type of fiberglass in the natural colour. So they'll be the final towers that'll go on.
So with the front end, it was quite different from the original RC10, right? So they used like a medium long shock?
Yes, so these front shocks are off the truck.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, so they're the same as what they released on the RC10T
Yep.
truck. I think they're 1.02 inch designation.
Oh, okay,
I'm not
yep.
sure exactly where it's measured, whether it's the bore
So
inside.
the bodies are definitely shorter than the rears, aren't they?
The bodies are fractionally shorter.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Yep.
nowhere near as short as the standard RC10 fronts.
Yep.
There's the rears and the fronts. And the shaft in the front is quite long as well compared to the original RC10.
Yep.
So yeah, and then obviously as a result they had the long towers, which was Jay Halsey design.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he came up. He arrived at the Worlds with those, and his car was one of the best on the track during practice.
Right.
And then they hastily found some fiberglass and hand cut a whole bunch of these tall towers for the rest of the team.
Well, when you look at the photos, I mean, they definitely look very hand cut, don't they?
Yes, these ones from Berserk are way too perfect.
Well, we can chew on them and make them a bit more natural looking.
Something I'm going to have to hack into them with a bit of a file. Sorry, Simsy. Because these are way too modern, perfect looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you look at the photos that we've been referencing, it's been cut by a hacksaw basically.
Yep.
At the track.
Yeah. Good old days.
Yeah. Yep. No CNC at the track back then.
Well, they may have had a Dremel, maybe.
Dremel? Ooh, don't know. Masaki was into his vertical hacksaw blade.
Oh, was he?
For cutting a lot of the fiberglass, I believe.
All right, so we've got the side here.
Oh, yep. Nice.
Okay, so that looks all right.
Looking good.
Now doing the other side.
Yep.
It looks like that. I'm trying to match up the line across here.
Yeah, it sort of pretty much lines up with the different windows.
Yep.
On the outside of the fade.
So let's do this. Put it up.
Yeah, continuous smooth
Yep.
contour.
We'll work around the back here.
Nice.
Now that top one's going to be a bit tricky because it's getting the airbrush in there.
You need a micro airbrush.
A little small one.
Yeah.
Like 1/10 the size of this
Yeah.
one.
Like a Men in Black gun. Yeah.
Alright, so let's see.
Ooh, got to get the angles happening.
Yeah, get the angle of the dangle, isn't it?
Oh, there we go. How about that vertical angle?
Maybe. Let's see. Get my fingers out of the way.
Use the opening at the back maybe a bit.
Yep. Oh, you're clever, aren't you?
Not just here for my looks.
Well, that's all I got you in here for.
Oh. Well, got a bonus then.
Alright, so we're just doing this, yeah.
Nice.
Across the top. So we were talking about before what sort of car is good as a donor car. So you're saying the truck is probably the best with the length of the shocks and stuff?
Yeah, so what we're producing is all of the custom, unique parts, of course.
Yep.
But then there's a whole bunch of standard RC10 or team associated parts that is required to build up a full car.
Yep.
So what Aaron and I did was we bought an RC10T.
A T.
For the very first RC10 truck.
Sort of easy enough to find?
We got them from the US. So
Yep.
you need to organise like US shipping or
Yes.
like maybe separate shipping because a lot of the US sellers don't ship internationally.
Yep.
So we used one of those shipping forwarding companies.
Oh, yep. So you
to
tell them
get
to
them
send
here.
it there and then they repack it and send it to you.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yep.
in terms of buying it from the actual person, it's just a local US address that we get it posted to.
Yep.
So we bought a couple of the RC10Ts, just old second hand. The more trash the better actually, because that means they're cheaper.
Fair enough.
Probably cost, I think it was about 200 or $250 each.
Oh, okay, yep.
And I was just looking for the key components that I wanted to get from it.
Yes.
Made sure they weren't too trashed.
Yes.
So those components are the shocks. So the full set of shocks for the truck, you get the perfect shocks for the front from the
Yep.
truck. And then all the gearbox internals. So the gearbox casing itself we don't actually need because that's all a custom design part to match the original.
Oh, okay.
Try and get a shot in there, but that was all handmade at the time, so it's very, very flat and simple compared to the actual Stealth box that was eventually produced afterwards. So you need the gearbox internals and then all of the ball cups, the hinge pins, a lot of the hardware, so all of the screws, 440 size and the 832nd size.
Yep.
Is the main sizes for associated. So a lot of those were useful, and the ball studs as well, ball studs and ball cups. They seem to be quite hard to get separately these days, and quite expensive if you do find them.
Yep.
That is pretty much the bulk of what you need in terms of a donor car or original parts.
And then the conversion kit.
Yep, so then the conversion kit, which is chassis, top deck, we'll do both towers in the conversion kit.
Yep.
so save you having to find the rear tower.
Yep.
And then all of the plastic parts, so we've got like front arms, front bulkhead,
Yep.
the little body posts. Then we've got the battery cups, so you can use originals and cut them down, but we're going to supply printed ones in the kit.
I'm surprised at how good your printed body.
So we use
the battery cups look.
I'll just disappear again. But,
Yeah.
using the PC blend material, it's called.
Yep.
Which is like polycarbonate, like the same plastic as the body shells are, but modified a bit, I think, to make it work for 3D printing.
Yep.
Because as it is,
smooth.
it's not very not very suited for it. But with the modifications they do to the material, then that's what they've come up with this polycarb blend material, which is it's amazing. I've only just got it in this colour. They used to have black and grey.
Yep.
And fluorescent orange, but they've just released the natural colour. So that's the printed part, and probably can't see it on the camera too well in terms of the exact colour, but
it's pretty convincing.
yeah, it's a really almost perfect match, I'd say, for the original associated nylons. So, which is super cool. So it's going to look great. So all the arms and battery cups and some other bits and pieces are made with this polycarb, which is super strong as well. I've done some good destruction testing.
Oh, have you?
Accidentally, but yeah, some good nose dives and cartwheels off the jumps out at Knox, and all the arms all stood up nicely, didn't break. So it's really tough, and it's flexible as well. So it's like it's got give, and it just bends.
Yep.
Same as the original nylon, or similar to the original nylon. So
yeah, it's good.
That's pretty cool. Yep.
Okay, so I think we've done around the cockpit. What do you reckon?
Oh yeah.
So I'm just going to look at my reference again.
Nice.
Okay, so what we're going to work on now. So we're going to do the edges of the flames, and then the edging of the whole body. So let's do the flames.
Yeah, the flames. Yep.
Yep.
And then we've got the sort of white associated stickers on the side, and then the edging.
Yep.
So yeah, do you reckon flames next?
Yep. So I reckon the flames, all the black is pretty much the same width that I can tell here. Okay, so let's just do the flames. So you've driven the car already, right? It's gone through quite a few sort of designs of the parts.
Yep. So when was it? It's probably maybe 6 weeks or more ago now was the first run.
Yep.
And we ran it at a friend's at Ashley's backyard track.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there's a few of us went over there one day for a bit of fun.
Yep.
And that was its maiden run on a nice little gentle backyard track.
Yep.
So that was pretty cool. So it actually kind of worked. It was some of the bits were a bit sort of slightly wrong sizes. So, the track width and some of the cameras I couldn't get quite right, but it was pretty close.
Yep.
So I gave it a first run.
Yep.
Found a couple of bits there that we broke. So I've since made them a bit stronger and different materials.
So hence why you got that polycarbonate
mix. So initially I was using the nylon material for the arms, and that proved to be not quite strong enough. Has good give, good flex, but it tended to crack in a hit.
Yeah.
We did a good test against the big cat cage at the cat cage corner.
Cat cage?
Yeah.
Has it got a cat cage?
Infamous cat cage corner.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's rather solid. So
right.
Yeah, that didn't come off too well after a collision with that. So it was good testing though. So it obviously works out the weak points.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now with since then, so I got the polycarbonate material. So I've been doing all of the arms and a few other bits in those.
Yep.
And then a couple of club days at Knox. So I've done a bit of testing out there.
Yep.
Which has been really cool fun.
Yep.
And it goes really well.
You expect it to, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, the
World Championships. So
yeah, that's right.
Can't be too bad if I get it similar.
Yep.
So yeah, it was really, really cool fun to drive. I liked it.
It would have been so rewarding to have it driving around after all this work.
Yeah, definitely. Yep, actually works and stays together and handles properly like a real vintage buggy.
Yes.
So that was pretty cool.
You're my laptop button pusher, aren't you?
Yeah.
Make sure it doesn't time out.
Yeah.
All right, so we're doing the the edging. So we're trying not to do too much edge because there's already a black outline on your stickers.
Yeah, it's a good couple of mil there of the sticker black.
Yeah, so sort of coming through. We'll see what it looks like after I finish this. We need to make it broader we can.
Yep. Yeah, a little bit extra is probably good to make it blend with the sticker.
Yep. Alright. Now, which drivers had this car? Was it only Masami, or did all the associated drivers have it?
Yeah, I believe all of their top drivers had it. Yeah, so there
Yep.
was 7, I think, at the 89 Worlds.
Yep.
I probably can't name them all. So yeah, so Masami, Halsey and Drescher.
Yep.
And then there would have been a few others which I probably should know. But,
you
yeah,
looked it
so
up.
I think it was 7, and that was the only ones they ever made, I believe.
Right.
A few prototypes and development parts leading up to it, and then they had the 7 full cars for their drivers. And as far as I know, this is probably number 8.
Number 8.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whether anybody else has done it, I'm not sure, but.
So I'm guessing
not what I've
Masami
seen.
still has his.
I believe the original car is at the Associated factory.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, I think he's got some other cars from different worlds and different events.
Yep.
But this one, I believe, is in the Associated headquarters,
Wow.
which is pretty cool. Bit of history, bit of RC history, for those who would be lucky enough to visit their factory and get to see it.
Yes, sure. I was at the Yokomo head office when I was in Japan with Nick in 2018. Where we met Tom Yokobori, and he was sent a car from the Associated head office, and I don't know why, but I can't remember what car it is now. But it was one of the early.
Associated? Yokomo? Would be Yokomo,
It would have been.
what was it? Super Dog Fighter.
Oh, I can't remember. I don't know why. I think I could have been in awe at the time, and I've forgotten what.
The Starstruck.
Yeah, it's just so cool being in there.
Was that Yatabi Arena, or was that?
No, so
is that
at
elsewhere,
the
actual
time,
factory?
so their head office is at Yatabi now, but originally it was closer to Tokyo.
Ah, okay.
It's in an area called Ayase, which is I don't know, probably like half an hour out of central Tokyo.
Yep.
And there's a multi-story building, quite small, but they did all of their design work in there, and also their ordering, and they did dispatch some orders from there too. So it was quite interesting going there.
Yeah, see all that process and
Yes.
everything. Do I need to push the button again?
Oh yes, please. Thank
There
you.
we go. Professional. Yeah, that'd be amazing to see that whole process.
Yes. So they sort of move things around now. How's that looking? So it's getting there.
Really makes such a difference, doesn't it? Compared
It
to
does.
the sharp, hard line of the sticker design as it was,
Yes.
versus just the fade and the fuzziness.
Yes. So I could probably add. Still got to do this section here.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, in terms of the width
Yep.
and the look.
Looks okay.
Yeah, I reckon
Yep.
that's awesome.
Okay. So we'll build it up a bit.
Yep.
Okay. So I'll
Yep,
get
that's
going.
enough sort of width and distance from the sticker, I think.
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then just make it a bit heavier,
Yep.
a bit darker as it just where it's close to the sticker.
Yes. Now you've been to
Keeping this
Japan.
accurate. Yes.
For actually racing as well, right? World Championship at Yatabe.
Yeah. Yep. That was the 2000 in the year 2000 World Championship, IFMA World Championships in Yatabe.
Yep.
Yatabe.
Yatabe.
Am I pronouncing it right? Yatabe. Yeah, that was a pretty crazy trip. It was pretty phenomenal. I just went there by myself, and
You've never been there before, right? Or
no,
had
that
you?
was my first trip to Japan. So I
You-
went the
you
year
went-
after.
You went there blind.
Yeah, so that
Yes.
was my first trip there
Wow.
by myself.
Yep.
Yeah, there was no other Aussies that went to that one
Right.
at that time. So I was one of the first to join the on-road World Championships, I think. And yeah, I did actually hook up with one of the American racers there,
Right.
who needed some transport because I'd hired a little car,
Right.
very little car.
What, a tiny car?
Yeah. So yeah, that was interesting experience. Luckily, they'd obviously drive on the same side as us. So
Oh,
that
yes, yes.
that was all good. I didn't have to cope with that. But yeah, it was trying to go from Tokyo. So I flew into Tokyo and trying to
Yes.
get from there out to Tsukuba City.
Yes.
Yes, Tsukuba City. I think that's where the actual your Tabiyas.
So you got to go into central Tokyo, then you catch a train out. You had the
I
car.
went by car, yeah. So I hired a car. So
Yes.
and this was before Google Maps and any sort of sat nav or anything.
The good old
so
days,
I had
eh?
the good old folding map.
Yes.
In the front seat,
Yep.
and I was, trying to plot out all of the course and the turns and the directions I had to go.
Yes.
And I can't really remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure I had to stop a few times to work out where the hell I was.
Well, I remember the old days. I used to stop around here too. You go to rural and you think, oh, taking the wrong.
Getting like going out to Shepparton or Wodonga or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So yeah, that was that was a good adventure. And then so we hooked up with this one of the American races.
Yep.
Michael, I think was his name.
Yep.
And so the deal was he would would share the car, chip in for fuel and stuff, of course.
Yep.
But the deal was that he had to go where I wanted to go for dinner.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Yep.
Rather than the rest of the American team, which went to Macca's, I think, most days.
Oh, what a waste.
Yeah.
There's such good food in Japan.
Yeah, it's like, but I forced Lucky Michael to follow me. So we went to, obviously just found some random noodle houses that looked interesting.
Yep.
And I think he actually enjoyed it. Like, he was obviously apprehensive at first and wasn't quite sure because so new and everything and unknown. But he really got into it. So like forced him to take the plunge. But after the event, he really enjoyed it, and the new experiences and different food that he wouldn't have eaten before or eaten otherwise.
Good on you. Yeah, it's a good thing that you're adventurous.
That was pretty cool. Yeah, so I was like super keen to obviously try all the local restaurants and cuisines.
All right, so I've done the front flame.
Ooh,
what do you think of that?
Yep.
Looks all right?
Yep.
All right, so we'll start working on
good.
the side flames,
flames,
and then we'll do the finishing touches.
Yeah.
Yep, and then we've got the wing to do.
Yep.
Okay. So look here.
Yeah, you're happy. That was a 10-day event, that World Championships.
10 days.
10 days straight without a break.
Is that normal?
It was then.
What about now?
Not now.
Oh, really?
So it was 3 classes back then.
Right.
So we had 12 scale, Pro 10, and touring cars.
Yep.
So I think touring cars was brand new in, was it 98? I think.
Maybe.
Was that I think 98 was the World Cup.
The first ISTC.
Yeah. So it wasn't officially an IFMA World Championship, I don't think, if I'm getting the news right. And that was the one that Spash had won all 3 classes.
Oh.
And then, so the 2 years after that, in 2000, was I think it was the first official ISTC World Championship.
Right.
And then they had the 12 scale and Pro 10. So we had, first 3 days was 12 scale.
Yep.
Next 3 days was Pro 10, and then the last 4 days was ISTC. And it was like 158,000% humidity.
Oh yeah, it gets wet, doesn't it?
And we were pretty much racing from like 6 a.m. until 8 p.m. every day for 10 days straight. And I was absolutely destroyed by the end of it.
Shower in the morning, shower in the evening.
Oh yeah, and all the I'm not going to go into how good the clothes and everything smelt after that.
Oh yeah.
And trying to wash them in a hotel which didn't exactly have the cleanest laundromat.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, no more details required.
Oh,
there.
fair enough.
Yep.
Yeah, that's enough.
Well, one detail which was interesting was the actual hotel that I stayed in was one of those. It was like a sort of cube, almost like a plastic molded.
A capsule sort of thing.
Capsule, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So all like the bathroom and the doorways and stuff was all molded into this sort of cube.
Yes.
So you walk in and there's a little gap down beside the bed.
Yes.
And then you go into the bathroom at the back.
Yep.
And then I couldn't even stand up in the bathroom. I'm not exactly Japanese height. So yeah, so like the entire time in the bathroom you're sort of like just crouching slightly. And then basically the bed and enough room to get into the cupboards at the end of the bed, and that was it.
Right.
So
well, I guess you didn't spend that much time in the hotel,
no,
right?
we were at the track for 50 hours a day.
Yep.
So yeah, the bed was for sleeping, and that was it.
Yep.
So yeah, that was it was a crazy event. Just full on hot and just like sweating the whole day. Of course, everyone got the towels with ice and trying to cool themselves down.
It was in the middle of summer, was it?
Oh, it was September, I think.
Oh, September. It's coming out of summer.
Yeah, so it was, whether it was the worst it's been, I don't know, but it was super humid constantly.
Oh, it does get humid over there. Yeah.
And you're concentrating and you're racing, and it's in a big enclosed warehouse hall with 200 other people.
Yes.
So it wasn't exactly cool.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So hit the vending machine a lot. I had those little iced coffees in the vending machine.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they were good.
What did you do for food then?
Food. I dragged my American mate to Noodle houses. Oh, you mean at the
Oh,
track?
at the track. Do they
Right,
have
the
food
track.
there?
Good question. What happened? Must have had food at the track.
Do they have like a food van?
Yeah, they had.
But sometimes
I know
I see
those vending
food vans.
machines.
Oh, vending
I think
machines?
they were mainly drinks though.
No instant noodles?
Yeah, good question. I cannot remember what we ate at the track.
Oh, it was a long time ago.
Maybe I
guess.
didn't eat.
Oh,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. It was
Well,
only,
adrenaline would have been.
only 22 years ago.
Yep. That was a while.
Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah, I remember seeing Masami drive his 12th scale, and the Pro 10 especially is always stuck in my mind.
Oh yeah.
Just watching it, the way he sort of flicked into the corners.
Right.
And he was leagues in front of everybody else in Pro 10, and Pro 12 I think at the time.
Right.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome to watch. It was the first time I'd seen that sort of level of driving, of course.
Yep. Wow. Eye opener.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I've got one side of the flames done there.
Ooh, quick.
So we'll work on the other side, and then we'll do
Yep.
the surroundings
Around
for
the-
the Team Associated.
Yep. So it's got a line across, right round, doesn't it? So it's on the top as well as
As the bottom.
the bottom. Yeah. So we
Yep.
just fill the bottom,
Yep.
and then just the normal, same sort of line on the top.
Yep. I'll
Along
also
the
do
edge of
that
the
now,
stick.
right? So it's all the way on the bottom, isn't it?
Yeah, so you can just fill that up. So, and then that'll be sort of trimmed later on.
Yep. Now, did you get to meet Masami when you were there?
Yes, yeah. Had a brief hello and chat with him. So he's obviously in demand for racing and other people wanting to talk to him, but
Yes.
got to say a quick hello. And probably chatted more with is it Oscar Jansen.
Oh yes.
And at the time I was running for Corrales, so
Yep.
with Constance and Yoko.
Yep.
So obviously pitting with them and chatting, and their drivers at the time was Saki and Simo, of course,
Yep.
and there was their British driver. Was it Andrew somebody? I've forgotten. What's his name? He was a cool guy. I think I was pitting next to him most of the time.
Yep.
So yeah, it was one of their sort of top drivers back at that time. So it was good fun, and then meet Oscar, and also chatted a bit with some of the associated guys, very briefly of course, like Cliff Lett and
Oh yeah, that's cool.
I think Mark Pavidis.
Yep.
Yeah, so got to meet them.
How's that? What's that?
Oh, nice. Yep. And then so around the back as well.
Yep.
So like pretend that black continues.
Yep.
And
And then
so
along
the actual
the,
paint was
along the
sort
back
of
of this pod as well.
Yep, and right down below that, so the
Yep.
masking sort of
Just
all around
straight
that
across.
masking. Yep.
Yep.
So straight there, so continue that.
And then straight up this line here.
Yep.
Yep.
And then I'll be cutting probably a mil or two in front of that line, so sort of from that line forwards, the similar sort of width I would
Yep.
say. Maybe,
Okay,
maybe
cool.
a little bit extra.
Yep. Okay.
And then that sort of tapers off at the top to nothing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. No worries.
Yeah, you can sort of see in the picture there, it's a little bit at the top where it gets cut out to go around the shock tower.
Yep. So with this conversion at the moment, when do you think you started working on it?
I started the design in about February.
Oh wow.
So yeah, February this year was the first CAD designing.
Yep.
Where did I start? I think I started with the chassis a bit to just try and kind of ballpark the main points.
Yep.
Used the world's Riri car and also Aaron's RC10 graphite as some reference points.
Yep.
To get some of the key hole positions and measurements in place.
Yep.
So you sort of mock that up in the CAD first as a starting point, and then sort of work from there to then go, well, okay, where are all the differences, and evolve it around those, the key points. So I had to have somewhere as a reference. So it was like a fixed set of holes or positions.
Yep.
And then everything else kind of, expands off that and is in relation to those points, so that it's actually reasonably accurate. Because I didn't have obviously any of the physical measurements of the original car.
Yes.
There's a guy online, I think from the US, Fred Swain, who was really helpful with a lot of photos and information that I'd never been able to find on the net.
Yep.
Yeah, it had sort
Were
of.
they like personal photos?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
A lot of unique photos that he had because he worked with those guys back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he used to run the Associated, so I think he had a lot of connections with them.
Yep. Does it look about right?
In the 80s. Oh, nice. And then, yeah, we'll fill in. You can fill in all of that with black.
Oh, that
up to the masking.
Up to the, okay. Yep.
So that can be just a little chunk of black there. Yep.
Yep. We can do that.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. So he had lots of unique photos that we hadn't found on the net as well. So that was really really cool. And yeah, he knew, he'd seen the original cars as well, I think. So he knew some information about them in terms of first-hand experience.
Yep.
So that helped.
Yep. Good stuff.
Yeah. And yeah, so all the CAD designing started from there.
Yep.
Gearbox. Same with the GP3D cars. I think the gearboxes, for whatever reasons, turn out to be the most complex items I've found.
Yep.
Probably just due to the precision required, to get all the meshes perfect.
Yes.
And as well as not really having anything to no physical measurements to start with. I just had to measure the existing parts that I had, like the existing stealth gearboxes and the gears and the shafts within them.
Yep.
And the bearings, of course. So yeah, it looks simple initially. You got I've got the bearings. I've got the actual physical bearings, of course, so I can measure them and print out some samples, get the holes right.
Yep.
So you can get the whole thing pretty close very quickly, I found.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And then that's like probably 5% of the work involved, because then the rest is just
fine
refining.
tuning.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And I found with the designing, a lot of the pieces have interrelationships with other measurements and other components. So when you change one small bit,
yep,
it actually has a cascading flow-on effect of impacting other parts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you think, oh yeah, I'll just change this, then you realise,
Yep.
oh wait a minute, that affects something else, and that affects something else.
Ah.
And it can be actually, a lot of work to then gradually refine and evolve a part. So yeah, whether it's just me or not, I'm not sure, but Gearboxes is something that I seem to take many iterations with to get them right.
So how many gearboxes did you print?
I think
try out?
it was. I think the one I first ran the car with was about number 17.
Oh wow!
Yeah, which is, I don't know. Some designers would probably spend more time on the CAD before
Yep.
printing, but
Yep.
with 3D printing, of course, the actual, especially if you use cheap materials for prototyping,
Yes.
and not the sort of final materials which cost a bit more, but yeah, use cheap PLAs or PETGs.
Yep.
Yeah, to print off a gearbox might be a 50 cents worth of actual material.
Yep.
So it's pretty cheap to do it that way, and I found for me that works. I like sort of evolve the CAD model to a certain point where I just look at it and go, not sure what to improve or change next.
Yep.
And at that point I go, right, I need to print it and look at it. And usually when I print the first one, I find I almost immediately see problems with it.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's like you look at it on CAD on the screen for hours,
Yep.
and it looks perfect.
Yep.
Print it, and like within seconds, I can go, oh, that's not quite right. That hole's not right. This bit needs to move. That angle's not right. So it's really weird.
It shows how important
could be just me, but that's what I found.
Well, I think well, a lot of places still need like a physical prototype, right?
Yeah.
To actually
I think
help
it's something-
visualize.
Yeah, it's definitely something I think with the human mind or the eyes. As soon as you see something that's physical and real in front of you,
Yes.
yeah, it's a totally different perception and experience to looking at it on the screen, for sure. So yeah, so I tend to probably print more than spending a bit more time in the CAD.
Yeah.
So do some changes, just print it, and then I know it's kind of not going to be right, but I just want to see it, and I
Yep.
can quickly see a range of changes I need to do,
Yep.
and I'll just do them in the CAD, and then just print another one and just iterate it like that.
Yeah.
And some parts are pretty straightforward, almost like first or second go they'll be finished.
Yeah.
But then other parts like the gearbox casing, for example, I find I think now my final version it's probably about 20 or 23, somewhere in there,
Yep.
sort of iterations of actually printing it. I mean,
So when you're doing your prototypes, right? So if you're using like PLA, you'll have different shrinkage factors with.
Yep.
So you print it in PLA and you
Yep.
get it perfect, then you print
Yep.
in different material and then it changes
Yeah,
again.
almost starting again. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So I think I printed the first 12 or so in PLA.
Yep.
And then I moved to the nylon. So it's nylon G, which is glass fibre infused nylon,
Okay. Yep.
which is the actual material that I'm doing the gearbox casing, and
Yep.
the front front bulkhead as well as the same material.
Yep.
Mainly for the colour. Plus, it's strong and flexible, and it's so not as strong as the polycarbonate, but
Yep.
for those positions and those applications, it's more than enough.
Right.
So yeah, then I'd print like number 13 or whatever it was in nylon, and find that yes, it's the tolerances aren't quite right.
Yep.
So then there's another series of iterations to evolve that.
A lot of trial and error.
Yeah, I find, and because 3D printing makes it relatively cheap and rapid to evolve and prototype components that way.
Yes.
It's a pretty easy way to do it, even if you do go through a bit of extra material.
Yep.
And I also did actually do 2 versions of the gearbox. One's for the original gearbox internals, and one's for the the re-release Worlds card that Associated did a few years ago.
What are they different?
Yeah, there's a slight difference in the middle idler gear.
Right.
So in the original RC10
Yep.
or Stealth, the bearings are in the case for the middle idler gear,
Right.
and the shaft is basic. Shaft and the idler gear is like one piece.
Yep.
Whereas in the
Yep.
the bearings are in the idler gear,
Oh.
and the shaft goes right through it, and the shaft goes into the casing. So you
Right.
need a different hole for it.
Oh, they changed it.
Yeah, so I've got two different versions. So when we've got this, selling this, there'll be the 2 options to choose depending on what gearbox that people will be, or what gears people will be using.
Yep. Okay, so we're just doing the base of these.
The other
the
side?
white section. Yeah. So I've done the
Yep.
flames.
Wow, brilliant. Man, that's looking cool.
It's looking alright.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just going to finish off this.
Yep.
Just do across the top as well.
Top. Yep.
Yeah, how long were you running RC10s for?
How many years?
Yeah, was it a long time?
Yeah, quite a few years. Probably from about 88 maybe,
Yep.
until would have been like mid-90s, probably 94, 95.
Yep.
Yep. And then started to do on-road racing mainly from that point onwards. And then I think was it 08 or 05 maybe? I think it was 08, wasn't it? The Nationals, off-road Nationals at Knox.
Oh, okay, yep.
Yeah, I grabbed, I think it was an Associated B4 at the time.
Yep.
So I grabbed one of those to try and relive the off-road days for a bit of fun.
Yep.
So that was cool fun. But yeah, so yeah, hadn't run off-road sort of other than that since about mid-90s.
Off-road's pretty popular these days.
Yeah, it's really got a resurgence at the moment.
Yeah.
Plus the vintage
Yes.
popularity as well, but even just normal racing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very popular, which is cool to see.
Right, so I'm going on this different angle. It's a bit harder to get in here.
Special angles.
Right, so I guess I'll just fill this in.
Yep. You've done a little bit of off-road recently as well, haven't you? Or the vintage off-road, I mean?
Oh, that's a comical.
Comical?
Yeah, we took it out to
comical.
Kilo for a little
Yep.
bit. Yeah, that's a bit of fun.
Yep. So you'll be running that again at the bash, I assume?
Oh, for sure.
It's outside.
And someone outside saying hello.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty hilarious at the
Oh, for
vintage
sure.
bash.
Yeah, it's going to be funny. So I'm guessing you're going to be running this?
Yep, I'll be running this guy for sure, and that's it. And then I think there'll be a lot of looking and drooling and talking. Hopefully we'll get a bit of running on the track as well.
Oh, looking forward to seeing that go.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do some final checking on this black.
Yeah. How's it look?
So have I done everything?
So put it all around the windows. Yeah.
It's sort of looking okay, isn't it?
That's looking awesome.
So it's still the front end?
Yep.
And then the bottom?
Yeah, so I've got the bottom's all up to the end of the sticker, and then that continues and goes up
Is that
ridge. Probably
this
on
ridge
this
here?
side of the ridge. Yeah,
Okay, yep.
I reckon.
Yep. So all the way up to the edge here,
Up to the pretty much
Yep.
where it would be normally cut.
and then across the front end.
Yep. And that,
Okay.
Yeah, the front groove. Yeah, you reckon maybe a bit darker on the
On
those
this one?
two
Yeah,
both,
can do.
or-
Yeah.
A little bit,
We can do that.
fill it in a bit more.
So further towards the back?
Yeah, you can fill in the back if you
Yep.
want. because that'll just be cut off to a certain extent. But then, yeah, a bit more solid. Awesome.
Easy.
Beautiful.
Okay, so I've got that. Okay. That.
Beautiful. Yep. And we've got it all. We've got it on the side there.
Yep.
Sort of in there. It's all around the edges. Yeah. And we should have a little bit of green showing
Green
through there.
poking through. Yep.
That'll be cool.
Okay, so we're just going to do the front end now.
Yep.
Okay. So
Yeah,
along this
so
ridge.
along continuous sort of.
Oh, on the
ridge.
bottom as well. Yep.
And that
Okay.
goes forward. Yep.
We can do.
And then the vertical. Yep.
Yep. Okay, so it's a bit hard to see.
Okay, and probably go like either side of that ridge kind of thing. Ooh, it's a hard angle to get.
It is. Let's try it. Do a bit of maneuvering here.
Maneuvering. Move this guy across a bit.
Alright, so we've got that there. Let's do, actually, do this a bit darker. Alright, so let's do either side.
The paper across a bit.
Oh, yep. Oh, it's just a table, it's all good.
Get him in the shot, and yeah, have a
Yep.
black table on Monday morning.
We've painted this table many, many times.
So it cleans off nice.
Oh, it does. Just takes a little bit of effort.
That's right. Brett's a big strong boy.
Yeah, it cleans really well too.
Oh, as well. Nice.
Alright, so I've got that. And then just the front end. You want me to do along here as well? No? Don't worry about it?
It's because it sort of gets cut off with this.
Cuts all the way through here, right?
With the really tall, narrow front towers. It's
Yeah.
it's a big sort of scallop the way we'll cut it.
Yep. Okay, so we'll just go across here.
I think Masami's original, it probably would have been painted all the way around.
Yep.
But then cut out. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so we'll just concentrate on there.
Yeah.
I need to. Password? Yeah, it's really special
Better with the
password. Alright, so that's going to be, it needs quite a bit on the front, yeah?
Yeah, it's got that
It's
solid
fine.
black line at the front. Yep. Next to the I Love KO sticker.
Yep. KO, they're still around, aren't they? You don't hear much about them though.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I saw they released a new radio not too long ago.
Some
If
time
I'm
ago they were
mistaken.
working on the sideways operating throttle trigger. Did you see that?
Sideways.
Yeah, you pull it sideways.
Whoa.
That was a new thing when we were over there in 2018.
Which,
So you pull like this. So it moves across this way.
Rather than
Instead of like this,
pulling like trigger, like a normal
Yeah.
gun trigger.
it moves this
Actually
way.
pulling that way.
Yeah. Bit funky.
Mm.
Alright, so we've got
Don't
the
know
front
if my
end.
finger would do that.
Alright, so that's...
Oh, awesome.
Alright, so we've done all the shadow here.
Yep.
We still need to do some shadow
Got
on
some-
the
got some
wing.
wings. Yeah.
Okay, so let me find the wing picture.
The wing picture.
The wing picture. Oh, where's the wing
Is
picture?
that the third
Third
one
one,
there?
is it?
Yeah. Oh, it's third and
That
fourth.
one?
Maybe. Yep. That's close up.
Okay,
So what have we got?
so the wing, we're going to be
So we've got-
spraying on here,
Yep.
from the outside.
So from the outside, right round that top, basically
And
across
and
the
down
top
the
and
bottom
the
as
front.
well?
Yep. Oh yeah, across the front. Yeah, but only doesn't have to scallop up. It's just the straight bit there,
Yep,
because then it gets cut.
yep,
Cool. And
Okay.
Then, and then around the sticker,
okay.
which would be, no, it probably doesn't need the back. I'm not sure. think probably
One line along the back?
Yeah, it's up to us. I don't think there's any photos of the back.
I think black along the back would be nice. It's sort of similar to there, a little bit
Yeah,
maybe.
like continue it right round.
Yep.
So otherwise it's just the sharp edge of the sticker otherwise.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Sounds like a plan. Alright.
Brilliant.
Alright, so let's get this in the camera here.
That's nicely in shot. You can see that one still.
I don't know why, but my hand was really shaking before. It could be because I'm like...
It's the pressure. I'm watching you.
I'm feeling pretty cold.
Chilly. Should we turn the fan a bit?
Oh, I'm alright. I think I'll be alright.
Got air conditioning. We could turn it down.
Alright, so I've got that. Right, so it's pretty pronounced, so I need to add a bit more here.
I thought it was just all that pressure of me watching.
Oh, yeah. Stage fright.
Yeah, it happens.
Beautiful. That's about right, yeah?
Steady hand vision.
Okay, so I'll also do the back one, eh? Because you're going to trim that up pretty high, yeah? Is it trimmed all the way up?
Trim, I'll probably, yeah.
Leave a
probably
bit there
cut
for
it-
strength?
Cut it down a bit, yeah, I reckon.
Okay,
over
so
the
I'll
back.
try and concentrate it right in the insides, yeah?
Yeah. And then it'll be back with white as well after the green.
Okay.
We've got quite a sort of wide band on the picture at the top edge anyway.
Yep. So here's the advantage of having thin paint. Disadvantage is it takes longer.
And you can keep doing that many coats without it getting too thick because it is such a fine spray.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. And you see there's no dripping whatsoever.
Yeah. Not like with my amazing can
Can trick?
jobs, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Couple of sweeps and that's it. You got to let it
Just
dry.
like Brett would say, spray it on like a chimp.
like a chimp.
Like a chimp.
Chimp. How does a chimp spray?
Goes all over the place.
Thick everywhere.
Brett will show you.
Oh,
We
looking
go
forward
all
to
over
it.
your face, all over your hair,
Well,
it'll be everywhere.
The mustache. You have like a fluoro, what's it fluoro pink and green mustache.
Oh. You would, because he's got like a white mustache, yeah? He'll pick up everything.
Yeah, we should see if he's up for like a his body shell coordinated mustache at the vintage bash.
Oh, so it's a bit harder to get in there.
Oh, right down in the belly.
In the valley. Okay, so that's that bit. Alright, let's do this bit here. So enough of that. How's that look?
Brilliant.
Yeah, it looks right, I think.
A bit
You
more.
want to be a
on
bit
the
heavier
corners.
here? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, yep.
So sort of.
It's almost square there, isn't it?
Yeah, it's actually chopped up, like stickers chopped off.
Yep.
And then the black is kind of not a sharp point, obviously, but
Yep.
a point comes to a square point. Yeah. And the so the wing here has got the signature of Masami's painter.
Oh, okay, yep.
Yeah. Was it what was it again? The Tarrant. Oh, I forgot the name. I have to read it. Takataki? Tani?
Takatani, I think.
Takatani? Yeah.
Painted by S. Takatani?
Takatani?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think he was the Masami's painter for a long time, wasn't he? Or maybe always. But yeah, so often signed his paint jobs. So
Right.
actually I've made one of the stickers in my special custom sticker sheet.
Ah,
Yeah, found a font that was similar to his signature and did that. So
oh, cool.
So yeah, so I'll be able to stick that on eventually.
Okay, so now we've just got to do the edging.
Yeah, so,
So that's
sort
all
of
the way
top
around?
and front. Yep, and then across
Across here,
Yeah,
is
is
it?
there a line or I'm not sure how?
It's probably down here, right?
Yeah, quite far down.
Yep. Okay.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. So since that first time you went to Japan, you've been back again, haven't you?
Yes, I was super fortunate enough to be racing at the time the Tamiya Cup. So we had
Yes.
if you remember.
I remember.
Yep. So yeah, what happened? So I think it was 2001. We had the Tamiya World Cup series.
Yep.
And obviously had our Australian events.
Yep.
And I raced in the it was called like the F1 Le Mans class, where we had I think it was the F103 chassis at the time.
Yep.
With the really cool Le Mans shells on them.
Yes.
Yeah, like the
Yes.
Toyota. What do we have? Like I think it was a Nissan, there was a Toyota, and what's the other one? Peugeot maybe. Well, there was 2 or 3 Tamiya shells that you could choose from.
Yep.
I think the Toyota one they had. But yeah, they're the cool like Group C Le Mans style shells, which is some of my favourite cars of all time.
Yes.
Outside of the 80s McLarens.
Yes.
Formula One. So yeah, the Group C cars like the Porsches and Mercedes at the time were like super cool. And yeah, so Tamiya had done a few of those shells. So we raced them in our Australian final, which I was able to win. And the prize was so there's 4 classes.
Yep.
So I won the Le Mans class, and then there was what were the others? There was a touring, like normal sort of touring car class.
Yep.
And
Was there a rally? Was there a rally class?
Yeah, rally.
Oh, the mini class, yeah.
Yep. So Plaka that.
Ah, that's right.
Plaka won the rally class that year.
Yep.
And Jake Zarb won I think it was the touring car class.
Yep.
Yep. And then
What touring cars were they? Like TO2s or something like that?
oh, good question. I would
Would've
say
been, yeah.
yes, something like that.
What year was it?
That was 2001.
Okay, yeah, probably.
Yeah. TO2.
TO2s?
Sounds about right, yeah. Yep. So, yeah, and then, what was the other class? Maybe a Mini or... Not sure if it was Mini or not.
Man, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Would have been, I reckon.
Wow.
What do you think of
I
that?
think I remember these things. Oh, that looks brilliant.
So, we
Hey, guess
got
what?
another one?
Because it's so good.
We'll do another one, eh?
Let's do another one.
Alright, why
Awesome,
not?
thank you.
Okay.
Yep, so we'll have one nice wing for the shelf.
Yep.
And then one that we can run on the track and may get
And mangle.
bent.
Well, they tend to get bent, don't they? The wings?
Yeah.
They cop
Especially
it.
with my awesome off-road driving and jumps, which I'm not used to. So yeah, we'll have a nice shiny one that we can put back on for the shelf, I reckon.
Yes.
Brilliant.
So, when you were in Japan for that Tamiya Cup,
Yep.
so that wasn't at Yatabe, right? That was at a different place.
No, that was Shizuoka.
Shizuoka.
Yes.
Home of Tamiya.
Yeah, so it was the Tamiya. So the Tamiya, they still do, don't they? They do like a toy fair.
Yes.
That's still running. I think you went recently, a couple of years back.
Yeah, 2018 I was
18,
there.
yep. Yeah. So big massive toy fair that Tamiya create. It's all Tamiya, isn't it? That one. The toy
I
fair?
know they have
Or is it
other brand.
other
Oh
brands?
well, I think the one you went to
Might
was
have been
the
just
Tamiya
Tamiya.
Expo.
Yeah, Tamiya
Yep.
Expo. Yeah, so they had a huge, like an exhibition building type hall,
Yes.
completely dedicated to this.
That's
so-
the one near the station, right? Yes.
Maybe.
Walking distance.
I don't know.
Oh, you can't remember? I
Well,
think it would have been.
quite likely.
Yeah.
Quite likely.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a big, like a sort of convention centre or exhibition centre type building
Yep.
for any old normal exhibitions. And so we had the track was down one end of the building,
Yep.
and then all the rest of the area was set up with a whole bunch of Tamiya displays, all their products. They had some other smaller tracks, I think, they had
Those mini.
mini cars that
Four
go on
drives?
the tracks,
Yes.
mini four drives that
Yes,
go on the plastic
they're cool.
tracks. So they had a big track set up there. So I think all the kids were, they had cars there. You could go and play with them.
Yes.
Some other sort of layouts and tracks for I think tanks.
Oh,
Some,
for
like,
combat and stuff.
combat style tanks.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. They also had like I called it ferret racing.
Ferret racing.
Yeah, it was. I'm not sure if they still have them. They were similar to the 4-drive mini cars.
Right.
It was more like a bullet shape. And they had basically two wheels driving at the rear, I think. Like maybe a couple of AA batteries or small batteries. And they kind of drove them in a track, so I don't think there was any front wheels even, or maybe just a little roller or something.
Yep.
And you switch them on, put them in the track, and then they go flying through the track at a million miles an hour, and then they got like a big scoop at the end to catch them as the ferrets come flying out the end of the track.
Yep.
So it might have been like tubes as well, like go up, all like 3D, sort of up and across, not just a flat track like the mini 4 drives.
Yep.
So yeah, and like clear tubings. So as it goes up, they would you'd be able to see them going around all the different curves in the track.
I've got a feeling they don't do them anymore.
No, so I definitely haven't seen them. So that was maybe it didn't catch off. The ferret racing didn't catch on. Yeah.
The Mini 4 drives are definitely still really popular.
Yeah, they're super high tech now. Those I saw some pictures of them.
You get carbon bits and all sorts of things.
Carbon ball bearings around all the rollers.
Yep.
Yeah, they're out of control compared to. I remember I had one when I was young. It was not exactly high tech.
No. you turn on the switch and you let it go, and they go really fast. Yeah. And then you run after them.
Yep. Like in a car park or something. Yeah. So that was amazing. The whole hall was just completely filled with Tamiya displays, all their products, all the plastic kits, of course.
Yep.
So yeah, that was amazing. And we're racing cars there, and it's sort of 5 or 10 people deep the whole time, standing around the track watching us race.
Yep.
And with the Le Mans class I was in, we had, I think there was 17 entrants from all over the world. Won all their regional races, of course.
Yep.
And so 17 of us in the one class.
Yep.
But it was literally in the one class. So we all raced all in one go at the same time.
Wow.
17 cars on the track.
How good's that?
Yeah. That was awesome. So just like constantly racing with people the whole time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Alright, now I think I'm done.
Okay, you've done the other wing.
Yep. So now, if we're all good with that, we're going to try and mix up a green.
Ooh, let's go green.
Go green?
Environmentally friendly.
Alright, so let me just empty this
How's
leftover black.
The fumes? Well, not too bad with the fan off.
Yeah, things are right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll pass out later.
Not hallucinating too much yet?
No, not yet. What have you found there? Some fish?
Green fish.
Alright.
We have lots of greens.
So I reckon there was one which I thought was a really good match, and that was the Mr. Hobby Metallic Green. I think it's one of the ones in your hand.
Whoa. Mr. Metallic, Mr. Colour. We have GX. That's pretty good. So this RC10 is the RC10GX.
Oh, is it?
That was their designation, yeah.
Alright.
So we're definitely using the right paint.
Okay.
Yeah, so Masami's greens changed at various races and years and over the time, but
yes,
it was some very unique green colour, which doesn't match my beloved racing green.
No. So which one is this the closest one? Is that the metallic?
What have we got here? Metal green?
Yep, that's a metallic.
Yep, and this one is Mori green.
Okay, so we've got the metallic here, which is probably close. It's a little light.
A little light, but pretty close. Especially it's hard to tell with the different light on the photo as well.
Yes,
but
yes.
That's very close. It just needs darkening a fraction maybe. What other
Because
angles do we have?
So with the reflections, it gets really light.
It's very similar to that in the reflection.
Doesn't it?
Yep.
So what our options are, we can either spray this on and then back it with a darker colour, like a darker green.
Interesting.
So that'll give us a bit of depth. Because if we start with this and back it with that one, or even this green that I've actually decanted, we could probably get a bit of depth happening. Okay, so this is which one was this? This is a PS22?
That was the 22, yep.
But actually, I probably don't want to use this because when I was mixing it...
The black didn't go so well, did
No,
it?
so I want to be funky. So how about we stick with what we know? Okay, that's working well. So we'll start with this, I'll mix it down, and then we might... I might even try a couple of drops of that in there and see what it looks like. But we'll mix it up first because quite often the metallic sits on the bottom.
And we can do some tests if you want.
Yep. Okay, so let's clear this out.
Does this need a bit of shaking?
I reckon it needs a bit of stirrage. Okay, so if I could get...
If you could
passed me over the big bottle of thinner.
Big bottle of thinner, the 400,
Yep.
good choice.
Yep, I like that.
Yes.
Good year.
Good year.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to pop a little bit in here. This is for cleaning my brush. Okay, and then pop a little bit in here for cleaning the airbrush.
Yep. We've done a number, or at least one video, a number of videos on airbrush maintenance, right?
Oh, we have?
Cleaning.
Yes. Okay, so actually, I'll stick the brush in here too. Not this one. We'll use this one. Okay, so what this does is putting the brush into the cup is actually cleaning the bottom of the cup as well. I want to be pretty thorough with the black because it's pretty dense pigment. So we'll spray all that out of here.
Definitely get a darker tint otherwise.
Yes.
How can you tell when it's clean?
So what I'll do is I'll spray that through. So that's a pretty dilute black that was in there.
Yep.
And then we'll put in some more thinner. And
yeah.
once that goes through, that should be good enough to change the colour. Don't need much, just like that. Spray that through. How are you coping with the lacquer thinner? It's pretty strong stuff.
I love
You
it.
alright?
Yeah.
Oh, you love it?
Well, I usually use additives
Oh dear.
that may be quite smelly, that we're not meant to use anymore.
Oh yeah. Alright, so it's still got a little bit of tint in it, but it's not too bad. Alright, so we'll leave that there. Our compressor is filling up. Alright, this is for cleaning the brush, which is already pretty clean, isn't it? Hasn't tinted it very much at all.
Yep, nice. I reckon this paper could be some abstract art. You could sell that.
I could. Probably won't
Make
be.
a fortune.
Probably won't.
Yeah. No.
It's a possibility, but
Never know.
I like your optimism.
Yeah. Well, art's subjective, right?
Yes,
Eye of the
well,
beholder.
that's true. That's true. How about we'll flip this over?
Save the art for later.
Yep. All right. So let's give this a bit of a mixage.
Whoa, mixage.
Actually, that looks alright, doesn't it?
It's a bit darker in real life.
So the top of it's a bit darker because we've got all the pigment sitting on the bottom.
Yep. So you need a bit of stirring.
So that is... What do you reckon? It's not bad, is it? So if we stir it, it'll probably lighten up a little bit.
I reckon that's pretty damn close. Should I just check with Masami to see if that's...
Yeah, ring him up.
Actually, Mr. Takatani, we need to
yes.
check with. Yeah. And he'll say like, yep, Mr. Metallic Colour.
That looks pretty damn good, I reckon.
Whoa.
Isn't it?
Yep, spot on. And you'd only probably go, if you wanted a bit more green sort of tinge to it, it would be that.
Yeah, if you just want to touch it on. That looks pretty damn good by itself, isn't it?
And when it dries, does it generally go a little bit darker, or depends on the paint?
Oh yeah, it's hard to tell. But I mean, metallic flecks might change.
Hmm.
It's just a base tone that may. But I think
That's
it's
like the backing.
the
backing
green
would
itself.
affect it, yeah.
But I think that's really good by itself. I don't know if it really needs anything. I think we'll spray this straight on. Have a look at it before we back it.
Yep. Because then if we backed it with white, that could lighten it too much potentially as well.
It could do.
Mm.
Yep. In general, I think it's alright.
Mm.
Okay, let's mix up a batch and we'll see what it's like.
Exciting.
Alright, so let me get this in here. Now we're going to be spraying
What do we
most of
need?
this. I just need this here.
What's that one? The brush technique.
Yep. This is pretty dense. The paint, that is.
What you call me?
The paint.
Ah, paint.
Yes. How are we going with our recording levels? Are we still good?
Oh, we have 37
Minutes left?
minutes.
Okay. Alright, well I better move on, eh?
Yep. It looks like our other overhead is still happy. I'm not sure what the numbers mean, but it's...
Yep, but it's not
It
all the
still
way
says
around, is it?
recording. Yep.
Yep, alright, so we're good there.
Yep. There's a gap.
Yep. So our microphones are still working, that's important too.
That's good. We'll have to do it all again otherwise.
That's right. Right, so let's mix this up. Now it's probably a bit easier to see the colour too once we've got it in this container. And it's actually looking pretty good.
Mm.
If anything, it's starting to look a bit darker. Actually, when I stir it, you see how the flecks are coming through? It's quite light.
Yeah, it really reflects the light different, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like depending on what
And if we look at a few different photos, hard to tell, isn't it?
What have we got? Got this one. Yeah, because even on the wing looks lighter when it's sort of...
Yeah, and then you look at the top
light.
of the roof and it's quite dark in that angle.
Yeah. But then over here, is it actually that dark?
It's really hard to tell, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Work out how to use the mouse.
Why don't we try this as it is? We'll put on a thin coat all the way around. Now this mix is quite a bit thicker because it's just going to be an overall coat. Otherwise it'll take us forever.
Yeah, do like 800 layers or something.
Yes, that's right. So let's see how we go. I've got quite a bit of paint all over me now.
Oh, nice.
Is that
You
nice?
need some vintage 110 or...
Oh no, I'll be good. I'll just wipe it off here. Right, let's close this off before we gas ourselves. Let's try a bit. Let's get a bit more action happening.
So you use quite a different technique with the trigger on, like for coverage, or is it similar?
Not really. I guess when you're hosing it on now, you're rougher.
Hosing. Yep. Don't need that precision around the edges.
No. So there we go. So that's the sort of colour. I think that doesn't look too bad. I mean, you compare that to that.
Yep. And look at the screen and the...
Yep. Not too bad, eh? I'm going to hit it.
Yep.
Let's hit it.
Yep. I reckon, as you said, if it's a fraction light when it's done,
Yep.
then it's a darker backing, and
Yep.
if it's spot on, then all good.
Yeah. Okay. Let's give it a go. All right.
Brilliant.
So this is probably not going to be enough, but let's just
And guess
give
what?
it a go.
It'll look good.
Oh.
Oh,
That's splattery.
talking of looking good.
Mate, Brett's going to be happy with me, isn't
Yeah.
he? Jeez.
Nice design.
Go.
Do need
Here we go. Here we go.
Just
Just smear it around.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Smear it nicely. Ooh. I could do some magic tricks with this.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay, nothing more.
Okay, let's start.
Cool.
And this is going to gas out the place a bit.
Whoa. Maybe time to turn the fan back on.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yep.
We'll do fan duty.
Yep.
You could have a fanboy.
Oh, I should bring it over to the camera so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, sorry. Oh, didn't like that, did I?
A little bit of chunky in it.
Yeah, a little bit of black chunks coming through.
Looks like it's cleaning up a bit there.
Where it's coming from. It's okay now, doesn't
Coming
it?
from black we did before.
Alright, so... It's getting a bit hazy here now, isn't it? Don't like those chunks coming out.
Whoa, chunks. Does that mean you need to clean it?
Might give it another
Touch of
clean.
Masami green so far.
It's getting there, isn't it? So, let's pour that in there.
Okay. A bit more martini stirring and cleaning.
Where's it come from? Wonder what that is.
So when you hold it close to the paper to sort of flush it out, is that trying to get the paint to sort of go back inside the...
Yeah, so you got a bit of pressure going back in. Probably I should use this. Let's give it a bit of flow. Let's try and flush it out a bit.
Yep.
Let's get this in here. Now what I'm going to do is, that feels sort of dry. Sort of rub it off. We get...
That's right, there'll be a sticker over that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, great.
I think there's a nice strategically placed, is it Reedy sticker that goes
Oh,
on
is
there?
it?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Sort of.
Oh, okay.
It's an outline Reedy sticker.
Yeah. Alright, let's see what I can do here. See if we can sort of clean it up a bit. I think that's going to come off in a hurry.
Most of that you probably wouldn't see once it's all solid.
Yeah, it will be sort of hidden a bit.
Yeah.
I'll remove as much as we can.
Oh, yeah.
A few little splatter bits. Alright, let's try that again.
Oh, a magical fingernail touch.
Fingernail?
Just scrape it off.
Oh. Alright, let's try that again, eh?
Cool. No more black.
It's better. I think we're good to go. Alright, so what are we missing? So this is called hosing on like a chimp.
I've heard that.
Have you? It's one of the favourite techniques of Brett.
Mr. BT.
Yeah.
So you've been teaching him all your skills. But has he been listening?
Well, yeah, he listens.
Yeah, just doesn't do it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's like our cat.
Oh, is it?
She always listens to what we ask her to do, but then ignores it completely.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Can't help that, can you?
No. That's what cats do.
That's right. I'm just full on hosing it on.
Whoa, hosing.
So it is fairly transparent at the moment, and you can tell that backing is going to make a huge difference. It's sort of even, and we're out. Okay, and that's what it's going to look like.
Right.
And I think it's looking pretty good.
Yeah. I reckon that's brilliant.
It's looking pretty good. Okay, so we're going to need quite a lot more green. It's really coming up. So with some more coats of this, it's going to deepen, and it's going to be very, very close. And it's going to make life a lot easier, because like this, if you run out of paint, that's right.
Yeah, that's a problem, isn't it? You mix up a batch and then
that's right.
run out and you're trying to replicate it again.
That's right, and it will change.
Yep.
Okay, so before we do this, let's get some...
That's definitely good to know for people that want to do Masami colour.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's the one to use.
Yep.
Mr. Metallic colour, was it? GX205.
Yep. Now again, we've got all these air bubbles. So let's go...
Bubble. Is it 4.7 drops? Oh no, more.
Yeah, I've got quite a bit more in there.
Yep.
So I'm going to mix a bigger batch, because we know we're going to go through quite a bit more of it.
Yep. On the wings as
What
well.
was this going to get? GX205.
205.
GX Metal Green. That's good, isn't it?
That's the one.
Right, so we're going to do your wings the same colour, but the end plates are going to be slightly different, are they?
End plates are weird. Yep.
Okay.
They obviously painted at a different time, and they seem to have a slightly different shade of green, a bit lighter. Or it could be the same colour and just back it with the white.
Yes. Alright, here we go. So we've got a new batch. Alright, so I might do your wings now
Wings.
with this match.
Awesome. Clean them up there a little bit.
Can I just see what I'm doing? That's all right. Play it by feel.
Awesome. Most of it went in.
Oh, that's where the splash is coming from. I'm closing this.
That's for Brett.
Don't worry, Brett will clean that
Yeah.
up. Just got to do that. Alright. Alright, good to go. Alright, so this is all the same all around, right?
Yeah. Where's
Yeah.
that? Scroll back up a bit, I think.
Yep.
There we go.
Okay, so it's all the
There's that
same.
one. And where's our 3D?
So I don't just paint anything on the back.
That will be backed, or need to be backed with white eventually.
Okay, but it's still green on the back end that you're going to cut up?
Yeah, that'll all be cut off pretty much. That'll
Oh,
be back
okay.
with- Yeah, so you actually don't need to even paint that.
Spit? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep, just the main part and the sides.
Have I missed something here? I didn't do the black down the bottom.
Oh yeah. He did the black down the bottom on this one.
I can still do the black on this because it's so thin. So that'll be fine.
Do you reckon?
Yep.
Worth cleaning it?
Oh, I won't clean it, I just spray it over the...
No, I mean the airbrush.
Oh! Oh, well. I don't know. What do you reckon? This one can be the racing
that
one.
can be the racing one, yeah. I think Masani had a spare wing which didn't have that black on it.
Isn't that fortuitous?
Yeah, lucky.
Alright, so we've got
Cool.
that.
Yep.
That's
And the
good.
side, you've done the like the end
Sides?
sides as well. Yep.
Oh,
Is
I
that
missed
done?
this one.
Oh, yeah.
This one's sort of done. Okay, so I'll leave that there. Let's do the sidey bits first.
And initial hosing.
Still getting a bit of this black coming through,
Yeah,
which
a
is
little bit of black.
concerning me. Don't know what's going on there. Could have been our experiment in the very beginning.
Yeah,
It's come back to haunt us.
it's split.
Yeah,
Is it like eggs and milk or something?
that's really weird. Okay, so that's got a little light coat. Alright, so let's do the hosing on this again.
Hosing.
Sort of a missed around
So
here.
was that hosing or that wasn't hosing?
That wasn't really hosing.
That's a
Because
bit
I noticed that
delicate.
black wasn't done and I
Alright.
got a bit scared.
Makes it unique.
I guess so. Oh, actually, I should do it over here so people can see what I'm doing.
See the hosing.
Yep. It's a lot of hosing, isn't it?
Probably less than a touring car body though.
Oh, yes, for sure. So that's my second one now.
Nice hosing.
That's alright, eh? Right, so let me try and get rid of these little flecks that came on here. Are they going to be covered up anyway, aren't they? Sort of?
No, they'll show on the
Oh,
inside.
they show on the inside, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
on the outside they get covered.
Yep.
Yeah, got the wing end plates on the outside.
Okay, so that's mostly off. Right, now we're going to hose like a chimp on this stuff.
Whoa, go the chimp.
What am I doing here? Alright. So it's going on really wet now. Okay, so that's what one there. So what do we want to do with the end plates? Is that going to be a little bit darker? Or is it? It's more green.
I reckon they're slightly different shade of green actually. So it's probably not darker or lighter. It's just a different green.
Yep.
Like this one.
Yeah. Yep. It'll be a little bit metallic, yeah.
The end plates as well.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it would make it sort of match the whole thing.
Yep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bit of that green into our previous mix.
So rather than using, because otherwise it'd be too different if it was completely separate colour.
Yep. Okay. Now, if we were to back this with white now, it's going to be really light.
Yep.
Yeah? The alternative is we can back it with a dark green, but I think that'll make it dark. Okay, so we'll put on a bit more of this stuff. The dilemma.
Whoa.
Okay, so let's put on a bit more of this stuff. We'll try to cover it as much as we can, because this is actually a really, this is actually a really good mix.
Yeah, it's a perfect colour match.
Okay, let's put that there. Alright, so let's hit this again. So it is really transparent.
Mm. We need more chimps.
More chimps. Should call up Brett, get him to come over.
Yeah. We call him back or?
Well, you can. Probably won't come.
No. Like a cat.
Alright, hosing it on.
Hosing. Yeah, I'll do all this bit here.
Look at there.
Yeah. Yeah. That little tab stays, I think.
Oh, does it?
Doesn't get cut
Other
off.
than the top?
So I'd look the lower bit of it, at least.
Ooh.
Smoke it.
It's a bit spicy, isn't it?
Spice. It's alright, it's green. It's environmentally friendly.
Yeah, that's right. So sometimes I like holding it up against the light.
Yeah. You see like light patches that haven't got the same amount of coverage.
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah. I should patent that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can.
Like holding something up to a light. Might be tricky. How do you police it?
Well, you can't, that's the thing. Have to sneak up to people and see what they're doing.
Yeah. Just when they're holding it up, you're like, wait.
Fit.
Stop that.
Alright, so how much time we got? Have we still got enough time?
Oh, what have we got? We have... Where's the number gone? Is the number getting smaller? 17 minutes.
17 minutes. Alright, so... Don't know if we'll finish it in 17 minutes.
Oh.
Because it'll get into the backing stage.
Yep. Is that more hosing?
It will be, and it'll probably be better if we do it with the can.
Can do.
What do we think of that?
Brilliant.
Brilliant?
Yep.
Alright, so I'm going to hose these.
Hose away.
So have you had a lot of interest with this conversion?
Yes. Well, originally we weren't going to sell it. I was just going to do the two
Oh,
for
just a
Aaron and myself.
personal project.
Yeah, we're just going to build them up and have fun at the Vintage Bash, of course. And,
Yep.
And seeing how cool it is, I'd probably keep running it.
Yep.
But yeah, there's been a massive amount of interest and demand for it.
Yep.
We've already basically sold 3, I think.
So has
haven't
anyone
even released it yet.
anyone else made a conversion like this, or
I
a replica?
don't believe the '89 car has been done.
Right.
Yeah. So as I was saying, like Nick's 91 did the 91 car.
Yep.
And then Volmer's done his Neo versions.
Yep.
So it's not exact replicas, his
Yep.
ones, but those sort of things. But from what I know, I haven't seen any of the 89 car.
Right.
So it could be the first.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. And yeah, since we heaps of demand, I haven't like really advertised other than just our Facebook page, of course.
Yep.
On the Vintage Bash page.
Yep.
And yeah, there's already a few guys that have bought them.
Right.
And yeah, not even ready to release yet.
Yep.
But getting very close, of course. So we'll have them hopefully in the coming weeks. We'll have all the parts. I think the chassis is really the final piece of the puzzle.
Yep.
With one little like brace piece at the front as well, which will be alloy.
Right.
So we need to make sure we can produce enough of them.
Yep.
And yeah, the rest is ready to go. All the design's finished, testing's done.
Yep.
It all works well, and all the strong bits are strong.
Yep.
So yeah, matter of getting our carbon sorted.
Yep.
And then we'll be packaging them up. I might try and get a bit more hardware as well, like so all the 440 bolts and the 832nd bolts.
Yep.
And might offer like a little kit of the hardware as well as an option if people want it. Because
are there many different?
There's a few. Some of the lengths are very specific.
Yep.
that are required. So
Okay.
I think it'd be good if I include those in the kit.
Yep.
And there's not heaps anyway, not hundreds of screws.
Yep.
Some of them are just the standard better ones that you need. But if you have a spares or have a truck or whatever, then you'd have most of the hardware. But there are some very specific ones that are unique.
Yep.
So same type of bolts, but just the lengths and whether they're button heads or the countersunks.
Yep.
So yes, I might look at getting a bunch of hardware and try to include little hardware kits in it in the pack. So yeah, probably within a few weeks we'll be either very close or ready to start mass producing them.
Mess.
Yeah.
Yep.
And getting them shipped out.
Cool. I'm just trying to think. I started doing a little bit here because when that dries, I'm going to
do a tester.
Yep. So let's
Nice.
do a quick force dry of this. So I mean,
That's the heat gun.
most of this is pretty much done, I guess.
Yeah.
With the demonstration of doing the body. So just with the backing, and then I guess we don't have to film the side plates getting done because that's all pretty much going to be the same.
Probably
It's
not
just
the
going to
most
be
exciting part of
no.
it,
So it's
but,
just going to be
yeah.
pretty much just the same thing with a
Yeah.
different colour.
We'd probably get a piece of plastic
Yep.
and paint it green,
That's it.
a slightly different green.
Yes.
Yep. So just the end plates there. Yeah, this is the cool funky looking bit across.
Yep. Yeah. So the greens come up all right.
There, I'm super excited. It's like so close to the pics, and the pics you never know anyway because of
Yes.
the lighting and the photograph and stuff. But
Yep.
in terms of a Masami body and his colours, that's looking pretty awesome.
All right. So that's accelerated that. All right. So I'm going to.
What do you reckon? Backing?
Yeah. I might. What have we got? We've got green and white. Okay. So I'm just going to wander
Yep.
off a bit.
Bit of good old, not quite British, but British racing green.
Yep. So I'm going. Where's some scissors here? I'm going to chop this.
Uh-oh.
Let's chop this like this. All right. So we're going to have two sample bits. Like my accurate cutting there.
That is brilliant. I can't believe you got it that accurate without measuring.
I went to culinary school to learn how to cut like that.
Whoa.
So there we go.
Good
All right.
reading.
So I'll be back in a sec. I'll spray a bit of each on these, and we'll see what it looks like.
Whoa, that's exciting.
Okay. All right. I'll be back in a sec.
What do I do all by myself?
Oh, I don't know. What have you been up to now?
What am I up to? I could show more pictures of the car.
Oh,
How's
yeah.
that? There we go. That's pretty good. Do like a 360. And actually, I've started creating a page on my GP3D website with all the information about this. So that'll show like all the parts that you get in the conversion kit, and it'll have information about what else you need. It'll have information about option parts as well that we've used, such as these alloy standoffs. A lot of the parts are from No Coast in the US. So check out No Coast. They'll have these standoffs. Also the wing mounts. So we've got like the Yokomo style alloy wing mounts that come off the tower. And also the orange wing buttons there, which is difficult to see. There's a better angle. Let's go that angle. Cool. So there we can see the orange wing buttons. So those are options of No Coast parts, as well as all the turnbuckles I've used to match the originals are the Lunsford turnbuckles. So they've produced, if I can get that in the right shot, they've produced set of these like retro looking turnbuckles with the big.
Oh, so they're brand new, are they?
Big quarter inch. Yeah, they're
Oh.
brand new. Yep. So from Lunsford Racing.
Right.
They sell kits for the RC10, but they're not quite the right lengths for this car. So
Okay.
again, on my site, I've listed out the exact lengths that you need. If you so desire to use the original turnbuckles, obviously
Yep.
you can use any, but
Yep.
they're sort of exact replicas of what Masami's ones were.
So what is your website?
Website is GP3D.
Yep. So it's the same website
Same
as
website.
your
Yep, as
Grand
the
Prix
cars.
car. Yep.
So same website. I've just created a page there.
Yep.
It's draft at the moment, so I haven't actually linked it in the menu.
Okay.
But how about later tonight I do that?
Yeah. Can
And
do.
I'll so it'll be available there under the menu somewhere, under the cars list.
Yep.
So that's evolving at the moment, that page. Got a lot of pictures there as well, so I've got one of the pictures of Masami's actual car as a reference, and then I've got lots of pictures of this prototype, so like the evolution of it,
Yep.
and some of the CAD pictures as well for interest's sake. So
Now,
yeah,
this
that'll
is-
evolve over time.
Yep. So I'm just having a quick
How'd
look.
that go? How's the backing?
That's really interesting because it's not that different. That's the green backing.
Yep. So
That's
as
the
in
white backing.
racing green from
Yep.
the can.
Yep. That was that dark green.
Ooh.
I think the difference is going to be when you look at it at different angles.
Yeah, I was going to say, so that section there.
So the full reflection
Yep.
looks the same, okay, on both. It's like really light. Okay, but as we twist that, you see
Yeah,
how
that's cool.
this one is a little bit darker, but it's not much different.
Yeah.
It's really subtle.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter which way we go, I think.
It's pretty funky in the light as well. Like with the Lexan actually reflecting the light.
Yeah.
It's almost like the all those reflective paints where they change
Colour
like
shift?
purple, yeah, colour shift
Yeah,
paints that
yeah.
go from like purple to brown or purple
Yep.
to black sort of thing. Not that extreme, but
What do you reckon?
it does change.
Oh.
The dark one's not bad actually. How's it compared to our picks? I've forgotten already.
Ah,
Oh,
yes.
Tim.
Yep. Let's have a look.
Yep.
Looking at our pictures there.
Whoa, where's that? How does that look? Well, actually, comparing to that, it's probably the lighter one, isn't it? Do you think? Or depends which section you look at. As you said.
But quite honestly, I can't really tell
It's
much
very
difference.
similar.
Can't really tell much difference.
No, very similar. Huh, that's interesting.
It will be slightly different, but I can't really tell you.
Mm.
I don't know. We can go either way.
Yeah.
Well, I reckon, how much time we've got left? We don't have much memory
We've got
left.
7 minutes.
7 minutes. I think we might have to wrap it up. So,
Mm.
but I mean, we've got a really good idea of what it's going to look like anyway, right? Okay, so we've got two wings. They've been painted up. We've got the main body. Body's painted up. That looks pretty spectacular, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very cool. Awesome.
Okay, and it's going to look better once the wrapping's off it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for
Wrapping
sure.
off it?
Yeah, take the wrapping off.
Okay.
Oh, it's like taking the wrapping off your sofa.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You have a sofa?
Yeah.
Luxury.
So all it needs is a backing now. So we're going to choose either a white or a green, and as we're seeing from here, it doesn't really
Yeah,
matter.
it's
okay,
really
these two.
similar.
Okay, you can tell this one's got the green backing because there's a little bit of green shining
Yeah,
through
the
on the
darker
thin areas,
Around the edge.
and that's got a little bit of white coming through on the thin areas. But the actual covered area
Mm.
is much different.
Yeah. Some angles you can see it's slightly darker.
Yep.
Different lights. But
Yep. But yeah, there you go.
Very cool.
Oh, well, let's wrap it up there. So
Brilliant.
there you go. That is Andy Cooke's 1989 RC10 replica. So we're going to have more details when we post the video, and that's us painting up the body. So this is the Masami replica.
Yep.
So all the stickers from MCI. Was it MCI?
Yep. MCI
Yep.
Racing. Yes.
Yep.
Stickers.
The
there's
body from.
custom sheet. I might put the link to because I think you can link the custom stuff.
Oh
so
yes.
If
Yep.
people want to go all the way.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
And then what else is there? There's the bodies from Penguin.
Yep. Bodies from Penguin, and we've got the wings as well. The Yokomo 870C
Yes.
wing. I think it was from Penguin as well.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
All right, and then we're just going to do the side plates, and then we'll get some better shots of it
Yeah,
when it's fully finished.
good
You know,
colours.
and we'll
And
show
the car's evolving as well, so
Yep.
it's all fiberglass, FRP prototype parts. So
Yep.
we'll be finishing off with all the final parts, all the carbon,
Yep.
pretty soon, and probably look out for maybe a session on that as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, so we'll probably bring you in and have a look at your finished
Yeah, we
model.
can have it all ready to go and finished.
Yeah.
That'd be
And
cool.
we'll have a closer look at all the different aspects of the actual car. But
Yep.
for this one, this was all pretty much the painting. So
Yep.
there we go. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time around. Thank
Brilliant.
you.
Cool.
See ya.
Cheers.